Hi everybody, it's Onyx here, and today I'm bringing you part 1 of What If Deku had the Omnitrix. As for this what if, I'm not going to make it the same like everyone else. Izuku finds it at 14, he trains for a year, he has minimal idea what it is. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make it a lot different. Do you know how Ben 10 got his powers at 10? That's how it's going to be. Everything's going to go like the same storyline all the way up to when Izuku's 15 he's going to UA. As for everything else, you guys are going to have to see for yourself inside of the what if. So, if without further ado, I'm going to let you guys enjoy this video. We are going to begin our what if off with Izuku's prologue of his life. If you guys have seen the Ben 10 anime, or just the normal Ben 10 show from the year 2002 all the way to year 2009 or 12, Izuku's life would have been replicating that, with Izuku fighting villains like Anemo, Vilgax, and other ones like Albedo and so on. In this, instead of Grandpa Max being the uncle figure basically, for Izuku in this timeline, Izuku would have someone different in his life. This person's being named called Kenji Suwa. If you guys know what this person is, he's basically the dog guy when Izuku was like fighting, or not quote unquote fighting per se, he was being attacked by Shigaraki, being strangulated as he was standing there. He's the one with the dog face basically, if it's a rough understanding, as I would like to know. I would like to tell you this, guys, right now, I will not be going into Ultimate Aliens or Omniverse. If you guys would like to see that, get this video to like, what, 600 likes? I know it's a big ass stretch. If you guys would like me to go into the Omniverse storyline, just get to 600 if you want to see that. I'm guarantee most of you would not want to see that, but if you do, and just hit me a DM if you guys would like to see it. And without any more rambling on, let's begin the storyline. As Izuku was walking down the street one day, as he would heard someone screaming for help, as Izuku without thinking would have hid behind a corner and just said, "It's hero time," hitting his watch, transforming into Diamond Head, as Izuku would have rushed in, seeing that the villain was holding her hostage, as Izuku would have just created a diamond hoverboard or diamond board, as he would have just hovered over her, as Izuku came jumping down, creating a glacier around the woman, separating the guy from the actual woman herself, as Izuku asked her if she was okay, her standing in complete shock that one of the people, or the aliens that people have spread around recently, that one of them saved her, as Izuku would just said a snarly remark, "Prepare thy butt for kicking," he creating a sword and a shield, as the guy would have just created a knife, throwing it at Izuku with him blocking it. "Is that all the best you got? Damn, I thought Japan would be a lot stronger." The man just rushed at Izuku, shouting at him, "Give up while you can, you worthless son of a bitch, I'm gonna kill you." The man took multiple slashes at Izuku, but Izuku just stood there and took it like a champion, with the blades that the man produced just snapping in half at the impact. What the? As the man just decided to get confused, Izuku threw a mighty punch at the man, knocking him off balance, knocking him clean out. As moments later the heroes arrived, telling Izuku to give up for illegal quirk usage, Izuku just instantly got out of there, disappearing, using his diamonds to get out of there as fast as he could, as this will be the first time Izuku's actually been seen by a pro hero except from people who are in the higher rankings or lower rankings. This is the first time Izuku's had a first running with the number 9 hero Ryukyu. The moment Izuku realized he was in the clear, he hid the watch on his chest, turning back into his human form so he could walk around among them. Izuku was thinking, "God damn it, that was really close there. Oh my. The plumbers will have a really good time with this if I got caught. Jesus Christ." Izuku catched his breath and returned like normal to his home, seeing his mother sat on the couch watching the news. Another sighting of this weird vigilante known as Diamond Head, the news reporter was saying, as Inko just turned off the TV and looked straight at Izuku, seeing that he was home Izuku, honey, you okay? That weird diamond guy was on the TV again. In this timeline, Inko doesn't know about Izuku and how he can transform into different aliens, as Izuku just told his mom that he's just going straight to bed. Unbeknownst to her, Izuku would be going out to train at Plumber's headquarters. The moment Izuku jumped out of his window, he transformed into Jet Ray, flying out of his building compound basically, as he arrived at the plumber's base being greeted by basically the dog looking person, him being let in, as Izuku just explained to him what happened today, as he knew what was happening because he had to file a report on it. Izuku, what have I told you? To stay low until the entrance exam. If you keep on getting higher and higher in the ranks like this, you're going to get people who want the omnitrix, you know that, right? Yeah, I know that, uncle, but you're going to have to let people know sooner or later. As this time went on, as they went through the 10 months of training, as this is where we're going to begin our story off where we last left it, as Izuku was standing there telling them in 3, 2, 1. Instantly, Izuku slammed down his hands onto his omnitrix, transforming him into forearms, as most of the beams that Izuku was had to lift up for his training, which Izuku managed to actually lift up, this being around about 500 times his normal body weight, so I would say around about 600, probably 1000 tons, as Izuku struggled with it however, but he still lifted it nonetheless. As this continued for another 10 months, as Izuku told his uncle that he wanted to apply for the UA entrance exam, as his uncle would have tried to disagree with it, but he still let him go. Izuku arrived home being greeted with his mum's smiling face, as she said, "So Izuku, are you planning to go to UA tomorrow?" she said, asking him if he's going to go for the entrance exam. "Of course I'm going for the entrance exam. I want to be a hero," as Izuku was cut off by Inko staring at him intently. "Izuku, I've told you this. You can't be a hero without a quirk. You're going to get hurt yourself." As Izuku was beyond pissed at this, as he just grabbed his t-shirt and a bag and just left. "Mom, if you're going to act like this every single time I want to be a hero, there's no way in hell I can call you my mom if you're going to keep on disagreeing with me like this. You crushed my dreams once, I'm not going to let you do this again." As Izuku just grabbed his bag and left his house, with Inko having regret in her eyes, but she knew what she did was right. But she still had the regret nonetheless. Izuku was walking down the street as he saw a bank being robbed. "Oh, for God's sake, not this again. How many times a day is this bank going to be robbed? It got robbed this morning. Why the hell is it being robbed again? Oh, I'm just going to do it straight out in the open. I don't see the point." As Izuku opened his omnitrix, being greeted with Diamond Head once again, as he hit his watch, being transformed into Wrath. "Oh, for God's sake, why did I get transformed into this again? I don't have much control of it, you damn omnitrix." As Izuku instantly charged into the bank. "God damn it, you all! Raph is gonna murder you!" he shouted at the top of his lungs, as Izuku charged at both of them, as the man with the gun started shooting at Wrath, with Izuku dodging it all. "Listen here, you man with the gun! Drop it now and do not get hurt," Izuku said, shouting at his Wrath transformation, as the man was shivering in his boots more or less, as the man dropped his guns getting on the floor, but most of his friends there was actually still shooting as they took a hostage. "Stop moving now and back up out this building or she's gonna get it," the man said, crouching at Wrath or Izuku. "You think I really care? Go right ahead," Izuku said in a furious, raging tone. "Oh my god, a gun, my weakness." As Izuku cowered a little bit, but without thinking, Izuku charged at the man, putting him in his weak spot, punching him right through a wall, as the hostage would have just thanked Izuku or Wrath. As Wrath just said, "Go over there and sit next to the other people or Wrath will murder you," it shouted at her. She was a little bit scared, but she was still saying thank you to him, as Wrath would have walked over to the corner, making sure everyone's okay, as the man pulled out a grenade from his pocket and shouted, "Everyone's going to blow if they don't get out of here now." as most of everyone there was shouting help, as around this time a pro hero would have jumped into the fray. Flashfire Fist! Hell Spider! A random person shouted as a giant mount of flame came bushing through the window, as everyone just saw it was the number 2 hero, Endeavor. Everyone here, get the civilians to safety now, as Endeavor looked at the big hairy furry man, as Endeavor without thinking instantly jumped into the fray, tried to punch Izuku, but Izuku just caught it and shouts at Endeavor in a furious rage. I am not your problem here, I'm trying to save them, he said, shouting. You trying to save them, then why the hell are you trying to kill him? Not trying to kill him, you dumbass! I'm trying to help them, Izuku shouted, trying to get his attention. But Endeavor just completely ignored this and punched Izuku right in the gut, sending him into a wall, but Izuku wasn't phased. You wanna play like that, number 2? As Izuku went and bulked up even more, pulling his claws out. As Raph or Izuku just decided to jump at Endeavor, clawing him, leaving a tiny scar on Endeavor's chest, sending Endeavor pointing into a wall. I gotta get out of here now, Izuku said in a furious tone because of the Raph transformation. As Izuku managed to get out of there just in time before Endeavor could gain back his sight, Izuku started running back home in his Raph transformation. The moment Izuku got halfway and knew he was in the clear, he hit his omnitrix, turning himself back to human. Jesus Christ! Holy shit! I just fought the number 2 hero! Holy shit, holy shit, holy shit! Izuku said in a very worried tone as Izuku just started to walk home that day. As through that week, Izuku started to get a little bit stressed because of Endeavor finding him and seeing the symbol on his chest, knowing that it could be him that he could be looking for. As Izuku was walking through the streets 1 week before the entrance exam, Izuku got called into the plumbers agency to actually do some left tests that he actually had left to do. Izuku walked into the plumbers agency to see a weird 4-armed person. Izuku just walked up to her and just said, "Hi there, are you lost?" Izuku said. No I am not. I am just waiting for one of my pupils to come." "And who is the pupil's name?" "His name is Izuku Midori, she went to... She looked over, looking at him. "Yes, it's me. My name is Izuku Midori. It's very nice to meet you, miss," Izuku said in a very smiling tone. "Alright, then. For your first assignment, what alien am I?" "You're a Tetraman," Izuku said, without stuttering on his words. She was very surprised that a human instantly knew what race of alien she was. "Okay then, we're going straight to battle then." "Okay, follow me," she said, as they both walked over to the battle arena, starting to get ready for a fight. As Izuku said, "So what do you mean to transform into? A Tetraman as well?" Yeah, why not?" As Izuku dialed in 4-arms and transformed into him, as they had a brawl, throwing left, right, uppercuts, and even kicks. Most of Izuku's hits actually connected, with most of their fists colliding in the same bit, creating mad amounts of wind pressure, breaking most of the glass in that area. "Damn, you're a strong one," she said, throwing another haymaker at Izuku's head, with Izuku blocking it with 2 of his arms and the right side of his body. "You're strong as well," Izuku said, throwing another punch at her ribs, knocking her far back. "Alright, my turn then, time to go full on out." "Wait, what? You were holding back?" "Yes, I was. I meant to be holding back, because you're new to the omnitrix still," she said, as throwing another haymaker at Izuku, this making Izuku collide into a wall, making him de-transform. Izuku said, coughing up some bit of spit from his mouth. As the day finally came for Izuku to go to his entrance exam, since he fought the Tetraman, Izuku's managed to get twice as stronger than what he would normally be in the canon. When Izuku arrived at the entrance exam and walked straight in this timeline he wouldn't have tripped. Izuku walked straight into the entrance exam halls to be greeted with President Mike talking, as Izuku went to go sit down where he normally would have sat in the canon, as Bakugo would have just stared at him like he knew he was somewhere before. Bakugo just ignored it and carried on listening to President Mike while still having a scowl on his face, seeing the other people here are trying to try out. As for Izuku's test score on the written test, I would say he got 99% because remember, he's been trained by the plumbers and Azimuth with his brain, of course. And you guys remember he has brainstorm and gray matter, so of course he will be a lot smarter. He absorbs basic things that way. Remember, this timeline, Ben's a lot smarter than Ben, or Izuku's a lot smarter than Ben. As we are going to begin with the practical portion. Now this is where the timeline changes exponentially. As Izuku is getting ready, as he dialed in forearms on his watch, getting ready to charge in. As President Mike was about to say 3, 2, 1, go. Before that, Ida came up to him saying, "What the hell are you doing? You're distracting people," he said. As Izuku just turned around to say, "Excuse me, but I'm not distracting anyone. I'm pretty sure you're distracting me now, Four Eyes. So could you please just scoot on away so I can actually get my points, please?" As President Mike said, 3, 2, 1, go. As everyone started to charge in with Izuku, you could see a bright light surrounding him sprouting 4 arms and getting red skin and 4 eyes. Everyone in the watch area was surprised, same with everyone down there, but they turned a blind eye to it because they were still running, with adrenaline through their eyes trying to get into the UA. As Izuku started to smash 1-pointer, 3-pointer, 2-pointers, and 5-pointers, JK 3-pointers again, as Izuku managed to get a total of around about 125 points just by destroying a bunch of 3-pointers and 2-pointers, leaving the 1-pointers for the rest of the participants. This went on for a little while until the 0-pointer finally came through as we cut to Nezu's point of view. The forearm mutation guy looks pretty familiar, but I wonder how he's gonna do against our 0-pointer, as Nezu just started to open up a hatch and press a red button to release a hulking behemoth known as the 0-pointer. As they cut back to Izuku's point of view, with Izuku collecting more and more points as he just decided to de-transform just to relax for a couple of seconds until he had to go back in because his timer finally ran out. Izuku was just sitting there waiting and waiting just for him just to have a relaxing 5 minutes until he heard a giant rumbling as he looked over to see a hulking behemoth. Izuku didn't want to show his identity too much with the aliens that he has because most of them is in the public eye. As Izuku thought, as long as no one's there, I'll be fine. Izuku walked off, but he heard a screaming as he looked over to see a girl with snowy white hair and a little tints of snowy blue skin. As Izuku thought, "Oh, for God's sake, no." Izuku instantly rushed in without thinking. "Come on, Omnitrix, give me way big." Izuku slammed his hand down on the Omnitrix, creating a giant green glow, enveloping him, turning him into way big as he would have thought. As Izuku thought, "Yes!" as he instantly punched into the 0-pointer, making it go flying back, hitting the end of the arena area. Most of the heroes in this area would have seen this alien before, as their memory would have been jogged. All Might stood up and buffed up instantly, rushing down at Izuku. But before All Might could even run there, he was stopped by Aizawa cancelling his quirk out. "Aizawa, what are you doing? That's a villain, we need to stop him." "All Might, he isn't a villain. He's only here to try and help protect someone. Just look down." As all of them would have looked down to see a girl injured on the floor, as everyone would have just sighed and tried to get away with it, but they would have tried to pull Izuku to the side. As we come back to Izuku's point of view before this would have happened, Izuku would have took her to Recovery Girl, helping her out. "Are you okay now?" Izuku said. "Yeah, I should be fine, thank you." As Izuku would have helped her up, and where they were talking all the way back to the entrance of the arena. The moment Izuku got ready as he exited the school grounds, he was stopped by Midnight. "Excuse me, kid, but you're gonna have to come with me." Izuku just answered her saying, "Why should I? If I do something wrong?" Izuku said. "No, you didn't, but you're gonna have to come with us." why should I, as this is where we're going to leave the video off today. 18 or 19 minutes, Jesus Christ, that's a long video. Damn. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and if you guys would like more of this series, please tell me in the comment section down below. And without further ado, I'll let you guys enjoy the outro music. In a bit. Peace.